Pittsburgh Penguins are heading back to the Stanley Cup Finals. Are you kidding me? This team, man. This friggin' team. As soon as I heard Letang was going to be out, I was like, that's it. They can't win without him. Then I heard Murray was going to be out to start the playoffs, and I'm like, they're lucky if they get past Columbus. And then they were so outplayed against Washington. They had their brutal game. I'm like, they're going to lose right here. What do? They come out. They have a dominant Game 7. Best game of the playoffs. Then they come in against Ottawa. I'm like, oh, this is going to be a breeze. They're way better. Then they have the brutal Game 3. Murray gets pulled. We're like, oh my God, what's going to happen? Who's going to go net? Is Murray ready to go in for Fleury? Murray comes in, is outstanding. Pittsburgh is dominant the rest of the way. Should win Game 6, but Anderson steals it. Going into Game 7, I'm like, oh my God, Game 7 at home. We're going to lose it. We score. They tied up. We score. They tied up. I'm like, what's happening? We're missing the net. Hockey Gods want to win. Boom, Chris Kunitz, garbage man, in the net. And the Pittsburgh Penguins are heading back to the Stanley Cup Final for the first time since the Pittsburgh Penguins in 2009 did it. And what a team. Absolutely impressive run, considering the fact that they basically did this with a makeshift defense, not having Letang for the entire run, missing Daly for a few games, missing Schultz for a few games. Schultz is still very banged up. Clearly, he's got a bum shoulder, had a heck of a game. Rude Wall's out. Mark Streit had to come in and play 2 games and was solid when he's barely played. They had an AHL team. They had George Archibald in the game. They had to call Carter Rowney. They did this with so many injuries. They're still missing Patrick Hornquist. Hagelin's still not fully healthy. He didn't come back until later on. So many injuries. Of course, Fleury was injured and Murray was injured and then Crosby was injured that one game. It's absolutely incredible what this team has been able to do. And the media has talked all in all about Ottawa's resiliency and how good they are at staying resilient and bouncing back after Pittsburgh scoring. And credit to them, they were resilient. But the Pittsburgh Penguins are resilient like no team I've ever seen. They get dummied, they come back, they win a game 2-0. Murray comes in for Fleury. He's absolutely outstanding. He had like a 940 save percentage this series. Pittsburgh could have got easily frustrated because Anderson was stealing them the series, and in the past they would have been. But what do? They just play. They focus on playing. They win the game. Sullivan makes adjustments that Bossman never would have done. They don't let Ottawa's system frustrate them, even though at times it probably did frustrate them. They just stay loose, they hang in there, they grind it out, and they get the win in 7 games. That is a mark of a championship team, ladies and gentlemen. That is how it is done. Absolutely incredible effort from everyone involved, and credit to Mike Sullivan for pushing all the right buttons. I thought it was a no-brainer to take out Fleury and put in Murray going into Game 4, but all the media says, why would you put in Murray? Fleury's the guy who got you this far. Let him have a bounce-back game, and most coaches would not have had the guts to do what Sullivan did. Sullivan knew that if the team lost, that move was on him. And he was willing to take that chance. That's how confident he was in Murray. That's how confident he was in his coaching ability. And it played off. Murray did not have a lot to do last night. He had a lot of shots, but not a lot of great shots, but some high-scoring chances. But especially when the game is on the line in overtime, he did not get rattled, especially after not getting a lot of shots. Laser-focused. What an incredible gutsy move by Sullivan. Fleury's not getting the net back now. And another incredible gutsy move Sullivan had was to reunite the garbage man Chris Kunitz with Sidney Crosby and put Connor Sheary on that line. After they played together a bit, he could see they had some jump when they led to their first goal. As much as I love Jake Gensel and as much as I think he's definitely the future of Crosby on the line with Sheary, Sid and the kids, he's not played great the last few games. He's also been getting unlucky, granted, but he's hit the post and he wasn't finishing on Crosby's chances. So Sullivan thought, do or die. Why not put someone who knows Crosby so well with him, who's got a lot of jump tonight? Kunitz had 3 points. Sheary is the best I've seen him all playoffs. He still hasn't scored, but he did get an assist. He's looking more and more like the Sheary that we saw in the regular season. He's probably not as injured as he was. Kudos for putting them back together. And then you put Gensel on the 4th line, which created an incredibly fast 4th line, and they had some chances. Getting Hagelin back was huge, but that reunion of former teammates was absolutely incredible because what do you know? It was Crosby to Kunitz for the game winner in double overtime. The longest conference final game, I think, in history or for a long time, and just the first time that Pittsburgh had won Game 7 at home after losing Game 6 on the road. Ottawa still has not won in Game 7. Max Cullen has not lost to Game 7, knock on wood. And what's more incredible is that Mike Sullivan has not lost a series as head coach of the Pittsburgh Penguins. We are absolutely living an incredible time, my friends. As Penguins fans, we are so lucky to be on this ride, and we should not take a single moment of it for granted, because what is happening is so special. I don't think this will ever happen again. Just to get back to the Stanley Cup final is incredibly hard, even while healthy. The Penguins have done it while a broken team. They are broken and bruised and battered. They've lost so many players during the season and during playoffs. They got to the final without their best defenseman. Letang is an elite defenseman. He is a top 5 defenseman in the league. We ranted and raved about how incredible Erik Karlsson was all playoffs and all series, and he was. Pittsburgh did a very good job of shutting it down, though. He only had 5 assists in the series. But do you think Ottawa would be anywhere close to where they were without Erik Karlsson? And he did that on a broken foot. But even without him and all in the lineup, they would be nowhere near the conference final. They would have been out in the first round. Yes, they don't have a Crosby and Malkin. Yes, they don't have a goalie like Fleury, but they have Anderson. Karlsson is still their best player. For the Penguins to get to a cup final without an elite defenseman, a top 5 in the league, is someone who can move the puck like very few, maybe only Erik Karlsson can move the puck like him, is absolutely an incredible feat. And they've even won games without Justin Schultz in the lineup, and they had lacked a puck-moving defenseman on the back end. Only Matt has played a lot better, and Justin Schultz has really stepped up, but it's absolutely incredible. This team just does not die, does not quit, and they won it last year for Dupuis. This year, they're trying to win it for Letang, and they're only 4 wins away. And they can do it. I mean, Nashville is going to be a tough matchup. They have the best D-core in the league, but they've lost Ryan Johansson. They've lost the number 1 center. They don't have the number 1 center that can match up to Sidney Crosby and Evgeny Malkin. People that are picking Nashville, I mean, they are a very good team, and I've liked them a lot. Pecorino is having a great season. His numbers have started to go down. I don't think he can keep this up, but he's going to have to steal some games if they want to win. They have an incredible D-core, but their center ice position is very weak. And when you line it up against Crosby, Malkin, Bonino, and Cullen, granted Bonino's not played as well as he did last season, but he's still a solid third liner, and Matt Cullen's having a great postseason. Nashville just does not have the guns to keep up with it. It's going to be a great series. It's much more to Pittsburgh's speed, much more to the way they play, as Murray says, and Matt Murray is very looking forward to it. And he knew Pittsburgh was a better team last night, and they deserved to win. I still think that Pittsburgh is going to take this series. As great as Nashville is at home, Pittsburgh has almost advantage, so I think it's going to be a tight series. I think it's going to be another Game 7 grinded out. I think Rene might steal a couple games, but I think it's going to be Penguins in 7, and it's going to be a heck of a series. It's going to be a yellow series. It's going to be a lot of fun. Pika Subban and Phil Kessel, one of them is going to win the Stanley Cup. What a world we're living in. What a world. And Don Cherry and all the people like Mike Milbury that say they're clowns and they're goofing around, well, they're in the Cup final, and they're laughing, so I'm glad that Ottawa's out because we don't have to have Ottawa's 1-3-1 system being copied around the league. I'm glad we get to see some great, exciting, fast matchup hockey, but I still ultimately think that the Penguins' center ice depth will go against, will hurt Nashville. And of course, Pittsburgh's got to win some games in Nashville, which I think they can do. Pittsburgh's very used to high-pressure environments, loud environments like Nashville. And we'll see. Rene doesn't have a good numbers against Pittsburgh, so we'll see what happens in the playoffs. But just, I cannot be more proud of this team, and I cannot say enough about the way that this team's battled and what they have done to get to this point is absolutely incredible. Like Tank said before playoffs, he believes the team could win the Stanley Cup without him. I did not think they could win a round, maybe one round without him. I definitely did not think they could beat Washington. They were very outplayed, except for Game 7, and when they beat him, they outplayed Ottawa for most of the games, and they beat them without Letang. The adjustments that the defensemen, that the forwards have come back and made to help out, and that Sullivan have made, and the way the goalies have played has been absolutely incredible. And what a ride, seriously, what a ride for this team. Pittsburgh is now heading to their 4th conference final in the past 4th Stanley Cup final in the past 10 years, the most of any team in the salary cap era. And what a career for Crosby and Malkin. Most successful era by far in Penguins history. And we are so lucky to be living in it right now. Incredibly lucky. Never take anything for granted. Enjoy Mike Sullivan. Seriously, I think he is now earning a reputation around the league as one of the elite coaches in the league. Second season in the league led them to back-to-back finals, only the third coach ever in NHL history to do that. What he said is absolutely remarkable. I think Dan Bylsma, we thought he was great. That was more of a one-off. Michel Therrien, again, more of a one-off. Mike Sullivan is legitimately an elite coach. Players love him. I love him. And he has definitely earned his reputation as one of the best coaches in the league. You would never know he was a John Tortorella disciple because they are so different. So just enjoy this crazy journey that we're on. Have a great time watching the final. I know I will. Penguins in 7. Let's make it happen. I think we can do it. Do it for Letang, guys. Do it for Letang. Another crazy fact that if Murray wins the cup again, he'd be the first goalie in history to win the Stanley Cup twice as a rookie. Because yes, folks, people forget he's still technically a rookie this season because he did not play enough games last year to qualify for his rookie season, which would be absolutely insane to win it twice as a rookie. 23 years old, just turned 23 years old today, and he could be a 2-time Stanley Cup winner. That is a sweet deal. Sweet deal. All right. That's all. Bye for now. Get ready for game 1 on Monday, and I'll see you on Tuesday. Have a great weekend, everybody. Talk to you later.